What's cropping up, stockers? Zach, the stock cropper, coming to you from a moist northern hinterland experience. It finally rained. We've got a lot of things to be happy and hopeful for. And we're going to walk you through a bunch of stuff today. We're going to introduce our new intern. We're going to look at the status of the plot. We've had a lot of stress from the drought, and with this rain's finally given us some hope, so I'm going to talk about that. And we're going to show you some of the animals that we already have on hand. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we're going to lead things off with the newest addition to the stock cropper team. So this is Miss Sophia Fernandez. She is a soon-to-be junior, right, at Iowa State University in Ames. And one of the things that I needed to do for this project out here to be successful this year is we needed more manpower. And there were a lot of things last summer that didn't get tended to in a timely fashion just because Juice and I had other things to tend to. And so Fia has been brought on to the team here to be here all the time, taking care of choring the animals, social media, marketing, just doing a lot of the stuff that we did a poor job at last year. And this kid is armed to the teeth with those skills. So Fia, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the folks a little bit about you.
Like Zach said, I am Sophia Fernandez, and I'm going to be a junior at Iowa State, and I am a triple major in agricultural studies, Spanish, and global resource systems. And I'm very excited to be here and get going on working on the stock cropper and seeing all the power it holds and what all it can do. And yeah, work on marketing and working on the social medias, and so getting you all more up close and personal with the operation and showing you everything that we have here.
So Fia is much more savvy on social media stuff. We just got done with a debriefing this morning, and she taught me about 46 things I didn't understand. So look for our game on the social channels, YouTube, Insta, Facebook. All that stuff is going to be taken to 11, and this is the kid that's going to get it done for us. So welcome, Fia. It's great to have you on board. I'm looking forward to an awesome summer with you.
Happy to be here.
So we do have a couple things already on site here. We've got our lambs that we lambed out here about 2 months ago, as well as our couple ewes and our goats and our. We had triplets. We had one of them unfortunately not make it, but those are the twins that are left there. We've got them. We moved them over here just to get them on some green pasture. We had all of this cereal rye growing, and this is going to be kind of our parking lot area for the field day. So we thought, let's get them over here and actually get them consuming some of this stuff rather than just getting them bales of hay. So they're happy to be out and about and having fresh green stuff to eat every day. So as soon as our barns get in place, the sheep and the goats are going to be moved into their respective barns. So we're going to walk out to the actual stock cropper plot. While we're doing that, I thought I'd give some commentary as to where we're at from a barn situation. So the Cluster Cluck Max 9 is getting closer to completion. We're hoping to take delivery of that sometime in the first week of June, which I'm really excited to see that one come. We're doing some work on the Cluster Cluck 5000 from last year to try to make that more stable and better set up for integrating solar power and the electric motors systems to be added hopefully at some point this summer as well through our help with our partners at Dawn Underground Agriculture. And last but not least, the Cluster Cluck Mini or Nano or whatever we're going to call it is we're getting very, very close to finalizing and starting actual construction of that out in Milwaukee. Just talked with Joe here a little bit ago, and things are already being shipped in, and hopefully the team will start assembling the first of 3 barns that we're going to make for this summer season, and hopefully be showing up sometime in late June, with the first one scheduled to be debuted at Jason Mock's Field Day, June 25th, Gaston, Indiana, where it's at. Okay, so what I want to do, we finally have enough stuff up right now that we can actually show our layout. We've kind of talked about what we're doing this year, but I wanted to show what you're going to see in the next couple months from the project. So this year it's about demonstrating the three different types of sizes of barns. So we've got a 30-foot solar corridor system that we're going to have here. We're going to have a 20-footer over in the next strip of green that you see there, and then last but not least, we'll have a 10-footer or slightly less than 10-foot wide solar corridor for the system to run through. So we're going to have 3 barns and 3 different rotations of cropping to go in between. So let's take you over to the first strip and kind of explain what we have here. So yesterday I came out and made kind of a gutsy call, or at least was to me because I've never done it before. I came out and mowed off. We put our cereal rye cover crop in last fall, and it was so dry, the pasture that we seeded in really didn't want to seem to take off underneath it. So yeah, when we got the rain, I came out here and decided to try to chop the rye off up top to give more light down to the pasture. That's coming. You can see right here, if he wants to come in, the pasture with some of the peas and the oats and the annual ryegrass that we have to give that light. So hopefully now with the moisture and the 85-degree heat we're going to have over the weekend, this stuff will spring up, and in 3 weeks when we launch, the animals are going to be really, really happy. So our first strip is 30 foot of pasture, and this is our summer grazing lane. So the first 45 days we're going to run down this strip here. The next strip here is our solar corridor opportunity with the pasture to the left for our intercrop corn. So we've got 30 foot of row crop here, so we've got 6 rows of corn, okay, and they're just starting to come up here, and then now 6 rows of soybeans. So, you know, kind of the staple of Iowa agriculture, corn and beans, to show the two things. So we've got the edge effect that on our canopy here. So high population on the outside row next to the beans and next to the pasture. So we had, I think it was 60,000 on the outside, 42,000 here, and then 35,000 seeds per acre in the middle of the strip. So we're really gonna, just like last year, we're gonna amp the system on the outside to really try to drive really intense corn production with that management style. And then we'll have just 6 rows of regular soybeans in between here. And then what we move into is, we just seeded this the other day, if you saw my video on Twitter. This is the summer pasture lane. So we seeded a 4-way mix of cowpeas, soybeans, Sudan grass, and Japanese millet. So this strip here, we burned the rye off. We'll have the new pasture come up underneath, and this is what we'll be grazing on the later half of summer. And the intention for the whole thing here is that we're going to graze it quickly enough that the species will hopefully recover, and we'll be able to make this cycle twice. So we'll go around the system with the barn, or go around the horn twice with the barn in each one of these iterations. So that's kind of what the 30-footer looks like, and we just replicate it all the way across. So now we go to the 20-foot block where it's the same thing. And actually, I misspoke. This is, instead of doing corn and beans on the last 30-foot cropping version, we came in here with field peas and barley. And we seeded that into this, and we mowed off the top to get rid of the rye, and now hopefully the field peas and the barley are going to come up, and we'll have that. And the whole reason for the field peas and the barley is I wanted to have another cropping system that could be a feed stuff that we could harvest. So we could harvest the barley and the field peas together, put them in the bin, and then we could actually, we don't have to send them to a feed mill. We could just grind them ourselves here on the farm and feed it right back to the animals. So everything stays hyper local right here on the farm. So again, 20 foot of pasture here, and then we'll have 20 foot of crop. So now it's just 4 rows of intercrop corn, 4 rows of intercrop soybeans, and then 20 feet of the summer grazing pasture, and 20 feet of the field pea barley mix. And then last but not least, we have the 10-foot lanes, so 120 inches wide. And here, to keep things simple, we just did intercrop for the 10 foot of pasture, 10 foot or 4 rows of corn, and then came back with 10 foot of summer pasture, and then 10 foot or 4 rows of intercrop corn again. So that's kind of walking through the stock cropper plot on its own. But you can see we've still got more over here. So what I did was I set up a 60 and 90 inch corn block experiment. And so one of the things that Sophia and Juice are probably going to be doing is making some mini stock cropping units that will manually advance, just to see about what can be done with livestock in these really ultra narrow arrangements. And And so we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff for you to come and see at our field day later this summer when we'll announce when that'll be. But if you're into solar corridors for this, integrating livestock into cropping systems, if we don't screw any of this up, it's going to be a really, really fun summer and have a lot of great stuff to share. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped to have a team here, more people involved, and we've got rain, so stuff's actually going to grow. And I couldn't be in a better mood than what I am here with how things are starting to take shape. So to kind of finish up with this episode, our plan of attack right now, if everything comes together from the manufacturing side, is if we're able to get things here in time, kind of hoping the week of June 7th that we're going to have the first 2 barns for sure in the field, and we might make a little 10-footer that's going to be kind of a temporary barn until the new cluster cluck from Dawn gets here sometime later in June or maybe early July. So that's the plan for right now. We'll see how the pasture recovers from that mowing and with the rain. And, there's no guarantees in this thing, and we're putting it out there for everyone to see if we're going to win or we're going to fail. It's just kind of part of it. So I think that's it for this week. Stay tuned. Like I said, Fia is going to be doing a lot more stuff on social media. If you haven't subscribed, we're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers right now on YouTube. We got like 70 to go or something, or 67 to go. So please, if you haven't subbed, hit the sub button. And what that's going to do, I've said it a million times, it's going to give us the ability to live stream this process. And we're going to do it. We're going to live stream the barn 24/7. We're going to have a phone dedicated to it, and we're going to have a camera in there showing what we're doing all summer long. So hit the sub button, make me smile. Have a great weekend.